Watch this. Your body is a wall, and the moment you stand too upright, every shot breaks right through you. In this lesson, we're covering the fundamentals of defense. Much of our earlier training focused on offensive techniques, actively controlling the ball, creating arc and spin. But in a match, you can't rely on attack alone. You need solid defensive ability too. So how do we build that foundation? It starts with your stance. Don't assume that standing higher is better for defense. You must keep your center of gravity low. Why? Because your opponent is attacking with force, so you need to be ready to defend. Here's a crucial point: whether forehand or backhand, think of yourself as a wall. If the ball comes in hard and you're standing too upright, the moment you give way, that wall gets broken through. Your defensive line collapses. So hold this image in your mind. Your body is a fortress wall. Your arm is in front of your body. That's also part of the wall. Never let the ball punch through you. If you move your arm too much during defense without being prepared, watch, your whole center of gravity shifts. The wall starts wobbling, becoming unstable. That's exactly why I emphasize the wall image. When you commit to being a wall, you'll naturally feel your legs loading and supporting you. Your body tightens slightly. You can't be loose and floppy like a squid. You need to stay firm for strong confrontation. In defense, you're mainly borrowing the opponent's force. Here's another key point. Many of you lose your contact point because you've built a habit of taking a big backswing from attacking. That arm movement destabilizes your wall and lets the ball punch right through. Here's a simple method to keep your arm stable. If the ball comes to your middle, shift the whole wall over, move parallel or forward and back. If the ball goes wide, move your entire wall to meet it. Don't just reach with your arm or squeeze the ball with your hand. Eliminating this habit of reaching is the first problem to solve. Without fixing this, you'll never develop counter loops or active defense. Here's a simple training method. Place your left fist against your right elbow. If your elbow moves too much, you'll feel the fist separate. That tells you you're opening up. During practice, gently squeeze your right elbow against that fist. Why use a fist instead of clamping directly? Watch, if I clamp my arm tight against my body, it becomes too restricted. A fist creates the perfect gap. So if you struggle with defense, train this way. And remember the foundation. Think of yourself as a wall. Even small adjustments come from the body, not the hand. If the ball goes wide, I move my body, watch. My arm stays fixed. Defense is a passive technique. If your hand has extra movement or your wrist is active, you won't be able to string blocks together with rhythm and stability. So in proper defense, I don't move my arm. I rely on my center of gravity for everything. No waist rotation, no backswing, that's defense. But you can't just stand there completely rigid either. After borrowing the force, use your center of gravity to follow through slightly. If the ball has high quality, just a small follow. It's like catching the ball in your hand, absorbing it. That's what defense means. I want control, I want to feel secure. Don't go for a one-shot gamble. Stay composed, contain the ball, receive it cleanly.
接到手里，跟咱们最开始的第一阶段一样，先接到手里。什么叫防守？我要的是有数，我要的是心里踏实。所以说，咱们不要什么呢？不要一锤子买卖，啊，不要这样，不要这样，咱们一定是很有劲，含住，接住，看到没？
Catch the ball, then use your center of gravity to carry it over. 2 steps. That's the basic defensive state. For penhold grip, it's the same principle, just adjust your grip. Keep your elbow close to your body, fist clamped in place. Same feeling. Use your center of gravity to guide the ball, borrowing force. Now let me teach you the proper defensive stance.
重心带球的感觉，借力带球啊，借力带球的感觉。那么这个时候。 同样的非常关键，正手位呢，先教大家站位防守是什么？右边的左脚。
Your left foot must seal off the wide angle, plant it there as your defensive starting position. Why? Because your opponent might attack wide to your forehand or to the middle. The principle is, prepare for the hardest ball first. If they go to the short angle, I just step over with my leg, no reaching needed. Many players neglect this, thinking they can just stand vaguely toward the forehand side. But if a wide ball comes, your legs get jammed. Your hand ends up over the table, and you can't reach the first contact point. The ball jumps past you, and you're left reaching desperately. That's why your starting stance matters so much.
那么这个时候就会什么？他封不到第一点，对吧？他拉大脚，我可以这样封第一点。 那么如果说我封到第一点呢，他拉大脚，第一点一跳出去啊，很明显就有一个很大的一个脚外，这个时候你只能去够球了。所以说我们最开始的站位，
Your starting position and that fortress wall posture are critical. On the forehand side, plant your foot at the wide angle. If the ball comes to the middle, I can shift over no problem. But if I stand too central and a wide ball comes, watch, I can't block it. I'm forced to reach, my whole defensive structure collapses. So set up at the wide position. From there, half table or wide angle, it doesn't matter. Just casually stand somewhere on the backhand side like most players do. Then when a wide ball comes,
最大的这个脚，封住这个脚，为什么呢？同理啊，我如果说还是跟大家一样随便啊。 站反手我就站偏反手就好了。那这个时候，来
if you attack the wide angle, watch, I can't seal it. Left leg or right leg, neither works. So I end up reaching with my hand. Look at my body position. The quality drops completely. I can't block it at all. This is the common defensive problem. You get used to using your arm from attack training, and in defense you reach with your hand while your legs never get into position.
我用手用习惯了，哎，拉球训练不注意，那么一到防守的时候也容易动到手，是吧？那么我一伸手，腿也不到位。那么我们
If you can't even solve the most basic defensive positioning, forget about advanced sequences like active defense and counter loops. None of that is possible, so watch my left foot. I plan it to seal off the wide angle. When a wide ball comes, I step across with my left leg, one stride, and it's sealed. Watch. Left leg steps across, sealed. Every time. Now, if I'm standing here, some might ask.
左腿一跨，左腿一跨，左腿一跨，是吧？对，你看。
Today we're looking at backhand defense positioning. Let me exaggerate to show the advantage of standing here. If the ball comes to my middle, I can instantly switch to backhand. I always have more options than with incorrect positioning. Now, many people make the mistake of rotating their waist like opening a door. Remember what I said earlier, think of yourself as a wall.
很多人其实也不会拉手，但是他有一个什么不好的一个状况是什么？你拉一个，他有一个转腰，看见没？他喜欢转腰，所以你们可以看一下，刚刚我前面提到的，我把自己当成的是一堵墙。那么如果我反手习惯性的
If you habitually rotate and open up, the wall disappears and the ball gets past your protective range. For backhand defense, face forward, seal off with your foot, plant both legs firmly. be that wall. Crucially, the backhand needs forehand support. Position your forehand in a triangle formation as the
这个
foundation.
时候很重要，反手它需要副手的一个参考，副手的一个保护。那我们把副手放在三角形，大家可以看到，三角形为基础，
Place your
微微地
forehand
放
hand
在旁
gently
边
to the
这
side.
个时候你要让
The
你要
ball
让你
should
的
never
球
go
永远
past
不
your
要
left
超过你的
hand,
左手。
never block
这个球
outside
不能
that
说
boundary. That would be
这个
reaching
球不能说
beyond
我
your
只有在这儿
protective range.
这个球拉
So
过来
whether I
我
move
再
from
走
the
的外面
forehand
去防
side
我
or
不能说
receive
这样去防
directly on the
这样就是
backhand,
很明显的
watch,
超范围
my
的一
left
种
hand
出
guards
手
the ball.
所以说
It
我
can't
们只需要
escape
做
my
到
left
什么
hand's
比方说
protective
我
zone.
用正手为过来
That gives you
那我
solid
会反手
passive
直接放在三
defense.
手位
But
你看
without
这个球
that
它
left
我
hand
左手
protection,
护住它了，就是这个球它怎么跑跑不出我的左手的一个保护范围，那么我们这个球就有了啊，被动防守这个你看这样有了。那如果说啊我没有左手啊，
without
球
your
都对
free
不准，
hand as a
而
reference,
且
you
你
can't
只能
track the
靠
ball
伸手
accurately.
去作为一个
But
参
once
考
you use your
作
free
为
hand, you
就
know the
没有
ball
参
is
考我可以
roughly
做什
within
么
your
那么你有
range.
左手以后你
With
反
that
知道哎
reference
这个
point,
球
I can
大
protect
概
my
都是在
center
我
of
的范围
gravity
以
during
内
normal
除非他真的
defense.
很冲很
I
离
won't
谱
lose
啊
my
这个
position
人不参考那么
because my
正常
left
的防守
hand
我只
guards
要有
this
左手的一
defensive
个参考
line, this
我基
wide
本上
angle
能够
watch my center of
哎
gravity.
能够很好
No
地保
matter
护我
how
的
I
重心
move, it
看着
stays
我是不会
balanced,
掉位
never
置而且你
tilting.
们看见没有
I can
正
always
因为我
adjust,
左手
move
保
forward
护
or
好这
shift
个
left and
防
right.
守这条
That's
线这
backhand
条外角我
defense.
保护好以后你们可以看到没啊我的重心哎我怎么动我重心都是不会偏塌的不会歪啊不会说歪瓜裂枣不会说东倒西歪我永远是保持一个啊我可以随时调节可以随时上也可以随时左右都可以这个就是反手方